I'm doing a lot of speaking down here,
Uh-huh.
and because in Mexico they're the eighth largest internet usage country in the world. They have more internet users here than they do in Germany.
Uh-huh.
And if you look at the statistics, they are where the United States was in the year 2000.
Wow.
So everything that we knew back in 2000, everything that we know today, we just do it down here, and it works like incredibly well.
Yeah.
Like 3 cent clicks and 40% conversion.
Oh, I imagine. Yeah, because I
It's
mean, you can't get
ridiculous.
those kinds of numbers with Google ads and Facebook ads and stuff like that in the U.S. anymore.
Right, right. So we run the Facebook ads down here, and they run like it's just amazingly well.
Yeah.
So if you have something in the United States that has been working there, you just bring it down here, and it'll work 10 times better.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
and I mean that's awesome. I've heard that like other countries outside of the U.S. and I don't know if this applies to Mexico or not, but I've heard that a lot of other countries are a little more skeptical about certain types of industries than the U.S. So, for example, like internet marketing type products. Let's say somebody was selling an ebook on how to, how to build mobile apps and sell like iPhone games or something. That's one of my clients actually has an ebook about how to create iPhone games and sell them. I've heard that in other countries, those types of things don't sell as well because a lot of other countries are a lot more skeptical about, business opportunity type products.
I don't know if it's so much skeptical for like that particular one, but like their understanding of it.
Hmm.
Like you can enter the market. Imagine that you walked onto a planet and nobody knew what an iPhone was, and you're trying to sell how to do an iPhone app.
Okay.
That's kind of how it is. Like they understand, but they don't. The knowledge is much more limited than we have in the United States. So the adoption is going to be much slower.
Right, right.
But there is some benefit to getting in early and being one of the founders in that particular industry. It might take a little while before they start to catch up,
Uh-huh.
but at the same time, it's going to take a little while for you to establish your authority in any business.
Right.
People are going to, but so then you're one of the the founders.
Now, do you think there's opportunities for like people that don't speak Spanish, that English is their only language? Do you think there's opportunity to sell stuff in the
I
Mexican
don't,
market?
I don't speak Spanish.
You don't speak Spanish?
I speak a little Spanish. That's why I have these guys.
Yeah, yeah. Because I'm just
They're
wondering,
smarter
like,
than
if
me.
somebody comes into that market and is trying to sell stuff and they don't really speak the language, I mean, obviously they can, hire people to translate this stuff, but are they going to be able to grow as a credible authority, not being able to speak the language, trying to sell those to those people? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, so Sandro's got a big thing. He says, like, are you selling to Mexico or are you selling in Mexico? And so you really need to embrace that, you are selling within their country.
Mm-hmm.
And so even pricing, charge in pesos.
Yeah.
Don't try and charge in dollars. Try to establish, that you are adding to the culture and not, like a leech. Just like the same thing, if somebody came to our country, came to the United States,
Mm-hmm.
and they're like, I'm Mexican, I know better, everything about Mexico is so much better than the United States, people are automatically going to be turned off by that.
Right, right.
So if you embrace the culture and you try and integrate yourself into the culture, then you have a much better chance of being accepted by people.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
But
So,
there's no reason why you can't come down here and be successful. I don't care what country you're from.
mhm.
There's no reason why you can't come down. And in terms of like cost and stuff, like, you've heard this before, like you might not have the resources, but you can always be resourceful.
Right.
You can develop relationships with people and not have to spend a whole lot of money to get going. The internet marketing products stuff, so like the content business machine
Mm-hmm.
might not do well here, but how to build a website, that could do really well
So,
because it's just not ready for it.
right, right. So what you're saying is if you kind of teach like an advanced sort of strategy, step it back a little and try to sell like what comes before that.
Step it back 15 years.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.